Welcome to Channel X TV, sponsored by Volo. Still at the BigCommmerce Big Summit Day, and delighted to be joined by Sharon from the Feedonomics side. So welcome, Sharon. How are you?
Thank you for having me. Yeah, it's a great day.
Right, now, this is a really interesting part for me because you deal with effectively taking data from a brand or a retailer and distributing it in different formats to all sorts of channels, from Amazon to TikTok to website to whatever. So just tell us a little bit about what Feedonomics actually does.
Sure. Feedonomics is the market leader in enterprise feed management, which means we connect the world's systems. We take data from wherever it lives, systems of record like ERP, PIM, e-commerce systems, Excel files sometimes, and we join it all together. And then we understand what format it's in the merchant systems. And then we look to map it to the destination schema. So let's say Google Merchant Center taxonomy or others, Amazon and others, in order to be able to make that match rate drive conversion. Because ultimately, when you're sending data to a channel, if you send it as Air Zoom Pegasus instead of Nike Air Zoom Pegasus size 10 men's running shoe in blue, you don't get as much conversion on the channel.
Yeah.
So we take the data where it lives, join it all together, clean it up, and send it to where it needs to go.
Now this is really important because on stage you actually said there's nothing worse than paying the money to advertise and getting someone to your website and then losing them because it's the wrong product. But I think what's even worse is they're actually buying a product and then when it's delivered they return it because it is definitely the wrong product. So how do you clean the data up and how can you help brands and retailers cleanse their data and more importantly enrich it? Because we know when you go on a marketplace they're suddenly asking for a whole load of stuff that you maybe don't have in your data, like which category is it going in? We want item specifics or product attributes that we maybe don't have, but we can kind of glean from the data. How can you help retailers with that?
Yeah, if you have less than 100 SKUs, anyone has gone through and like edited an Excel file with the,
It's
but
tedious.
It's tedious. It becomes impossible when you have hundreds or thousands or millions of SKUs and you need to edit product field data on every single one of them. And so we allow our customers to manage their data at scale, to sort and filter. We auto-categorize using Feed AI, which is a proprietary AI technology we've been building for the past 10 years, to be able to categorize products according to the destination schema, in this case, the Google schema, because so many ad channels use it. So we can help categorize products, we can enhance those products. We have new features using Gen AI for content creation where you can specify a prompt within the directly within the platform and join the results of that right back in there to enrich that data. We also allow customers to join their data together. So if you want to be able to advertise a certain number of products, you probably want to know whether you're advertising products that are number one in stock. So you need to be able to join it together with inventory availability, sometimes local specific inventory, which powers things like Google local inventory ads or some of the more instant commerce use cases where you might buy online and pick up in store, as well as being able to surface that data to the channels based on what data that channel needs to drive conversion. Because as you say, the schema on Amazon is very different than the one on Google. So we allow people to take their data wherever it lives. Let's say it's in their ERP or their e-commerce system, join it together with other data that they might have that might enrich it, that might come from other systems, or third-party systems in some cases, and then send it where it needs to go.
And when you say send it where it needs to go, this is where it gets exciting for me, because what channels can Feedonomics actually support? I mean, I've probably got my website, I'm probably on eBay and Amazon, I may have looked at social. TikTok Shop's launched 1.5 years ago in the UK, it's only launched about 9 months ago in the US, but that's blowing up like mad. And what other channels are there? Can you support all of those? And what other channels are there that we should be thinking about?
Yes to all the ones you just mentioned. There's different types of channels. So when you think search is an obvious one. So think Google and Microsoft and anywhere where you're typing words in where that search relevancy comes back where you're shopping. Think social. So that's everything from Instagram and Meta properties to TikTok to other channels. Affiliate. So anywhere you're sending a feed where you might upload your catalog of products in order to drive either clicks or conversion on third party. So marketplace is another one. And with these various different marketplace operator platforms, there's now a proliferation of marketplaces where you'll want to be able to list on things like Amazon, of course, Amazon and eBay and Walmart and others, but also things like
Miracle Marketplaces,
Marketplaces, Shein, all these new channels. As we are going to be able to send the data to them as fast as they can define a schema. So distributors is another channel. SMS is an owned channel, a branded channel. Email is a branded channel. We're sending quality data to that channel to drive conversion is really what can drive growth, because you're doing more with what you already have. If you can get incremental conversion rate on a channel you're already sending product recommendations to, maybe by offering more profitable SKUs when you make that product recommendation, you can drive profitability with the channels you're already on, as well as add new channels for growth.
And talking about profitability, you said something a little minute ago that really tweaked my interest, which is talking about local inventory and same-day delivery or fulfillment from store, or maybe even pick up in store. We're seeing all of these new programs coming out, both from marketplaces and from retailers. How can Feedonomics help us with that? And what do you actually need from the retailer that's got 100 stores across the country to be able to power local store inventory for them?
Yeah, so it's a tricky challenge because you have to have an events-based architecture to essentially provide real-time sync to the channel, which we have. So we've solved that challenge. What we need from a retailer to be able to offer some of these new instant commerce programs is awareness of the inventory. So if you're if you have a POS in store that has that daily inventory count, and that's a web service that can be made available. If you're on a technology partner who has that data, we can pull that in. You can drop it to us on an SFTP file drop in an Amazon S3 bucket if you want to on a regular basis. We can take the data however you can get it to us. And then we can surface it in as real time as we receive it to the channels, whether that's to power things like Google local inventory ads. Hey, my favorite mascara is available at that retailer 1 mile away. And then even newer programs are starting to come about with things like, in the US, we're seeing programs like Amazon Today, some of the Walmart same-day local pickup and delivery solutions,
and delivery from Uber,
Deliveroo, Instacart, all of these programs where we can kind of look to what's happening in some of their test markets, and we can expect that it's going to be moving here quickly, because we're already seeing that same-day delivery timeline is really an interesting use case. If you can go on your favorite website and buy on Amazon ship from store, or buy on a direct-to-consumer site and have Deliveroo deliver it to you same day, that's going to create a brand new set of expectations that we need to deliver for our customers.
Now, you also spoke about AI, and that's been a theme throughout this big summit from BigCommmerce on all sorts of fronts. But what are you actually using AI on Feedonomics, and what can brands and retailers expect from you in the future that will ease their process of distributing product data across multiple sites?
Yeah, we've been leaders in AI for over 10 years. We've been training a data set to auto-categorize billions of SKUs according to the Google schema for over 10 years. So very familiar with what it takes to create a large data training set that can then predict what category a product needs to go into, because categorization is so critical in being able to get those conversion, the conversion increase that you want on an ads or a marketplace channel. So that's Feed AI. Another use case is, obviously, with all the new LLM, OpenAI technology, we are not opinionated around which AI to use. So what we've designed is an open capability to essentially specify a prompt to, in this case, OpenAI, with our Gen AI for content creation. So you can specify a prompt directly within the platform and say, using this title, rewrite my product description with 3 bullets in the tone of a Gen Z shopper for my TikTok product descriptions, and it will auto generate that content at scale for you and rejoin it into the feed for your team to then QA. So it's saving tons of time. So it's everything from content creation to auto categorization of products, and you'll start to see more and more of that as we look to use AI to auto categorize to new destination schemas. So unlocking more marketplace channels as well.
You just mentioned for your team to QA,
yeah,
which you can do if you've got 100 products, or maybe if you've got 1,000. But if you've got 10,000 or 100,000 or even 1 million products, you can't do that. So for people that are thinking, okay, I'm going to rely on AI to run some of my business, and maybe it's something simply, it's just going to be to categorize the products for, say, eBay or Amazon. What accuracy can we expect, and how good is AI?
Yeah, we've run tests where our AI can categorize products according to the Google schema within 96% accuracy rate. Usually when the raw data comes in, it's between 60 to 70%.
So this is a massive increase.
Massive increase. On average, we did a customer survey, and on average, our customers see a 10 to 20% increase in conversion on both their return on advertising spend as well as on destination marketplace channels. So improving, it's massive, improving that underlying data. And then it's also about time saving. If you can save time for those extremely important internal resources that all of us have less and less of, where they can actually be moving the business forward instead of doing the mechanical Turk data, tasks that might be able to be automated, they can unlock new growth for the business. So now one, team member who's been managing a single channel like Amazon with one team member, you can now use, a fully managed service plus AI and technology to manage many channels similarly. So
I think that's the exciting thing about AI, because I keep hearing in the press, it's going to do me out of a job. But what it should really do is do the drudgery,
yes,
and allow me to expand and grow my job rather than be made redundant because it's doing it for me.
Let the humans do the human things and let the AI do the AI things. I think they can work really beautifully together to unlock significantly more value at scale.
Now, there's a question I've got to ask you, which might sound a bit unfair, but we're here at the BigCommmerce Big Summit.
Yeah.
And every time I hear about Feedonomics, it's Feedonomics, it's BigCommmerce. What if I don't use BigCommmerce, but I like the sound of Feedonomics? Can I still use it?
Absolutely. So,
okay.
Yeah, Feedonomics is platform agnostic. BigCommmerce is committed to openness, to commerce without compromise. Come as you are commerce. Bring us your technology that you're using. And it's tool fit for purpose. So we've got a lot of customers on different e-commerce platforms that leverage Feedonomics in order to support their channel expansion use cases. So we're agnostic when it comes to that. We have many customers on lots of different platforms, whether they're custom or other SaaS platforms as well.
So that's fantastic news. But when you're working with BigCommmerce, what's the big advantage of the BigCommmerce side of the equation with Feedonomics?
Yeah, obviously our product teams are very integrated, and so there's new features that are rolling out every day where those things play really well together. An example of that is our most recent feature release where Feedonomics can actually take that optimized data. So we apply transformers to the data, sometimes to the tune of 1,200 transformers to optimize that data before it gets to a destination channel. In this case, we've released a new feature called Listing to BigCommerce, where you can actually take the data from wherever it lives. Let's say an ERP comes in raw, kind of garbage a little bit.
A bit chunky.
and we're able to clean it up before it gets to your destination. And in this case, that destination can be multiple BigCommerce storefronts. So we can actually list to BigCommerce. So if you have a master catalog that, let's say you have multiple brands or multiple regional sites where that content needs to live differently, the product and title descriptions, maybe they're in different languages, need to be optimized before they're sent to those e-commerce branded sites, you can now do that with Feedonomics into BigCommerce.
So really heavily integrated. Great news. Now, people are bound to want to know more about Feedonomics. So two final questions. Number one, what can we expect from the future from Feedonomics? What's the next thing coming? And number two, if they want to find out more, how do they get hold of you? How do they get hold of Feedonomics?
Yeah, I think the speed of innovation is only spinning up. So watch this space, because the number of integrations we will be announcing and releasing, they're coming every day, right? We were hundreds of channels, now we're over 1,000 channels connected. And so I would definitely make sure that you're watching some of the announcements on some of the exciting new marketplace channels.
The problem's just getting bigger is what you're telling me.
Exactly right. And so that's one area. And the way to work with us is, if you are experiencing data challenges, or you want us to just run a feed audit on your existing catalog and what you're doing to understand where you might optimize, please reach out. We'd be happy to do an omnichannel consult with the team. Look at your data, understand where we can help you improve, and whether you work with us or someone else, at least you'll get a good shot at better data across channels.
Sharon, thank you so much.
Thanks for the time.